No. I never even registered.
So you just joined the war, or they
I just volunteered. I always wanted to go in the Navy, but I couldn't qualify at first. I didn't have the education. You needed 60 college units, which I didn't have. So I took 22 units my last semester of college and passed them all. But 2 weeks before I went in the Navy, the dean of the college called me into his office and he said, "Frank, I understand you've taken 22 units and passed them." And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, I can't let you have them." Well, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I said, "What do you mean you can't let me have them?" He said, "It's just not my policy." And, so then I got mad.
No, college today, be very careful.
I didn't cuss him, but I felt like it.
Yeah, it's not a four-year program.
Anyway, I finally talked him into it. He finally let me have them. I had exactly 60 units, what the Navy required.
Right down there.
If I needed more than that, I wouldn't have gotten in. I always wanted to fly, even when I was a little kid. To be honest with you, I was intrigued by the movies they made in those days of the Navy. Wallace Beery and guys like that. I don't know if you ever heard of Wallace Beery. He's an old timer.
Where'd you go after you trained?
Where did I go afterwards? I went directly into a squadron on the East Coast. That squadron up there.
What was the name of the boat?
Sangamon.
Oh, was that in the South, North Africa?
Especially well.
That's the one I was on in Africa.
Who were you fighting there?
Who were we fighting? The Vichy French. They were under control of the Germans. I felt bad because the French were supposed to be our friends. Yet this guy was bombing our troops. It was a twin-engine bomber. And I knew he was the enemy. Otherwise, why would they be bombing our troops? We had sent them an ultimatum and told them to keep their planes on the ground and their vehicles off the road. But they ignored it. And when the AA started to go up and explode all around us, I knew then we were going to fight.
So your ship went through the Panama Canal and went to the South Pacific?
After Africa, it went directly to the South Pacific. It didn't stop anywhere, not Pearl Harbor, anywhere. But we took off and landed about 150 feet.
Yeah. And they didn't catapult the fighters.
Oh, really?
So they took off.
You had to get to speed. How fast did you have to be by the time you got to the end of that carrier?
You had to have 21 knots of airspeed over the deck in order to launch without catapulting. Anything less than 21 knots of surface speed, you had to be catapulted. The plane was doing about 75 knots.
It was about 3 miles an hour.
Rolling with the wind.
Yeah, that's punching the gas pretty hard.
But and then you had 60 feet, you said, before you hit water.
Yeah.
So you had 60 feet to still.
So when you went off, did you kind of fall off and then go back up?
Yeah.
So when he was in North
Until
Africa,
you got ground return.
You shot down at least.
And now, was there ever a time where you were worried whether or not you were going to have enough lift to stay out of the water, or were you always pretty sure?
Africa, you don't even realize.
A lot of times you had enough wind that you didn't worry about it.
They always turned the carrier so you were facing into the wind when you took off?
Yeah.
Okay.
in the Philippines.
Oh, in the Philippines. And what was the name of that ship?
That's the air
The-
conditioner.
Albany Bay.
The Albany Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what happened?
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine just sitting
That's
right
pop-
there?
We were covering the landings at Mindoro, which is just south of Manila. And kamikaze came out, and
I remember you guys going down.
we didn't see, nobody on the ship knew he was coming. And he pulled up just before he got to the ship, pushed over and drove right into us.
Wow. Was this during the day?
Yeah.
So you actually could see him as he was coming. You could see him as he was coming.
If you were looking, I wasn't looking.
Were you on the ship when it got hit?
Oh, yeah. I was maybe 75 feet from where he hit.
Wow.
He went right down our front elevator.
Man, you're old. 19
Now, did that cause what did that cause? A fire on the ship?
Yeah, he set everything on fire. He exploded in the forward engine room. That cut all our water pressure off,
Wow.
all the lights and all the blowers. The smoke immediately filled with smoke.
And then did you guys have to abandon ship?
Yeah,
How long were you in the water once you abandoned the ship?
maybe an hour and a half. When the war ended in Daytona Beach, yeah. They weren't called the Blue Angels, they were called the Navy Flight Demonstration Team. What happened was the group at Daytona Beach decided we wanted to put on an air show for the local people, which we did. And the Navy was so impressed that that's why they formed the Blue Angels. They were just called a Navy Demonstration Team. They weren't called the Blue Angels then. The name Blue Angels came from a nightclub in New York.
Oh, yeah.
The guys had gone out and they had a contest going to name them, and nobody came up with a name. But these guys went to this nightclub. The next day they went to the skipper. They said, "Skipper, we've got the name of our squadron." He said, "What's that?" He said, "We went to a nightclub called the Blue Angels, and we thought that would be a good name." And that's how they got the name.
I never heard that one.
I didn't either. Cool.
I never did register, so after we moved to Dos Palace, this is
When I got home.
maybe 13 and a half years later,
His arms out.
the draft board down there sent me a letter, and they said, "You have never registered, and if you don't register by such and such a date, you are in violation of so-and-so law." I threw it in the waste paper basket. I said, they can't draft me. I got too many kids and too many years of service.
Can you do it?
Anyway, about a month later, I get another letter from the FBI, and he said, "You better register by such and such a date, or you're in violation of law so-and-so." And I thought I better answer this one. So I made copies of everything and sent it into him.